Hi, I'm astrologer Penny Dix and welcome to yet another Astrobite. And this is for today, Tuesday, the 28th of January. What have we got going on? Because the planetary energies are kind of building up to what could be quite a life-changing new moon tomorrow on the 29th, but also as we head towards the month of February, where there will be a lot of quite significant changes. It's like the planets are taking their positions. They are really jostling for pole position to get going on this kind of interesting next stage of the journey. So I'm talking today about the planet Mercury, our planet of communication, our messenger of the gods. And Mercury is also about thinking and thought. It rules Gemini, and Gemini is an air sign. And Mercury is most definitely flight-footed. Mercury can fly between the underworld and the overworld and really is the messenger of the gods and can serve as an interesting messenger for us, whether it's an intuitive thought that we pick up through our intuitive energies, or something random comes up or gets said that makes us think, now that could be an interesting avenue to explore. Now I say this because Mercury today is newly arrived in the sign of Aquarius, which of course is also an air sign. But Aquarius is fixed, so there's something here about fixing ideas in place, getting a better sense of the vision of what it is that you want to manifest into your life through the energy of tomorrow's new moon in Aquarius, because Mercury today is making a sextile to the North Node at 0 degrees of Aries, because the nodes, the North Node and the South Node, go direct, retrograde, direct, retrograde. They can do that several times in the day. And what they're doing at the moment is they are hovering on that anaretic degree of Aries and Pisces as they shift towards this 18-month switch into different signs, which is going to be Pisces and Virgo as their kind of eclipse points over the next year or so. So what do we make of Mercury sextiling the North Node? Well, I think this is quite interesting because this is about, the North Node is in Aries. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. There is something in this energy about setting in place ideas and plans that have long legs into the future, so that whatever might be around in your thinking at the moment and whatever changes you may be thinking to make in your life at the moment, pay attention to your first thoughts, because those first thoughts, I think, are coming from that North Node in Aries, that karmic kind of destiny of where you can start moving towards to fulfill and manifest the ideas and dreams that you've got from this new moon that is forming in the sign of Aquarius, which is tomorrow. Now, also today, we have Venus in Pisces, who's really kind of center stage at the moment. Venus, of course, is our planet of love, but she's more than that. She is the divine feminine. She is the part of the feminine that can relate, but also needs to have a good relationship with the self. She needs to feel valued, and she needs to feel that she values herself. Venus has been in Pisces for a while. Venus has been enabling or endeavoring to somehow pull together the threads of ideas and dreams that are in the sort of oceans of Pisces, and imploring Saturn, whom she was conjunct to about a week or so ago, to put some form and structure into the ideas and dreams that she has while she's in Pisces, especially because she's coming up soon, not quite, to a conjunction with Neptune in Pisces that rules Pisces. But I'm going to talk about that in another astrobite. But Venus today is also making a sextile. So she's making a sextile to Uranus, retrograde in Taurus, but Uranus goes direct on the 30th. So there really is a sense of everything in the cosmos shifting their positions, changing their energies to fit in with the new plans and ideas that are forming for all of us to move in a forward direction towards our required and desired future. And not just our own individual futures, but the collective future, the future for truth and understanding and harmony on the planet in general. But Uranus, of course, is still retrograde in Taurus. Venus rules Taurus. So Uranus is making this sextile to the ruling planet of the sign it's in, which it doesn't really like, and it's been here for about 7 or 8 years. Taurus is fixed, it's earth, it's about luxury, it's about kind of enjoying oneself. And, you visualize somebody sort of, sitting in a wonderful kind of library with mahogany bookshelves and beautiful books and the kind of aroma of the leather of these beautifully bound books, and a gorgeous kind of leather comfy kind of probably brown chair that is well worn but so comfortable and welcoming, and of course something nourishing on a table nearby, and the book ready to be explored. But Uranus is going, well, this is enough. I need to break out of this. I need to get up out of this comfy chair and get out there and go and change. And Uranus wants freedom. Uranus wants freedom of speech. What were we talking about earlier but Mercury, who is all about speech? And Mercury, of course, today is sextiling the North Node. So there's something here with this Venus energy to Uranus that is saying the energies are very helpful towards freedom of speech, the revealing of hidden truths, coming to the surface, that make us aware of how much we have been somehow kept in the dark about a lot of what goes on behind the scenes, and that has been building up over many years as our freedoms have been eroded. And when Uranus breaks out of Taurus in the middle of this year and moves for the first time for many, many years into the sign of Gemini, the freedom of speech and the freedom of thought will be extreme and extraordinary. So guess what my word for the day is? Yes, it's thought. Because I thought to myself, what do we do with our thoughts, and how much do we really pay attention to the first thought? Because the first thought that pops into our heads if we are perhaps just kind of drifting and thinking about maybe a change we want to make, the first thought is the thought we should act on. The first thought we have about anyone we meet, whether we feel good vibes coming from them or negative vibes, we're usually proved right at some point down the line, even if we have changed our minds and said, oh, they're not so bad, they're great, they're wonderful, they're fun. And then at some point, something happens and you see their true colours, which don't blend or meld with your energies. So Marcus Aurelius said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. And Buddha said, we are what we think. All that we are arises with our thoughts. With our thoughts, we make the world. I mean, that is super interesting because that is one of the kind of underpinning kind of beliefs, if you like, of the law of attraction, of manifestation, of metaphysical ways of thinking. If we look at the kind of more esoteric side of life, the spiritual side of life, that our thoughts create our reality. Now, Buddha was saying that many, many hundreds of years ago. All that we are arises with our thoughts. With our thoughts, we make the world. And it's true. James Allen said, you are today where your thoughts have brought you. You will be tomorrow where your thoughts take you. I don't sometimes think that we have enough conscious awareness of the power of our thinking and thoughts. And it is really important to be aware of our thoughts to the best of our abilities all the time, to have some command over them, to have some control, to be in charge of our thinking, to have a discipline, to take responsibility for our thoughts. Because we can undermine ourselves and make ourselves incredibly miserable for a day just by allowing random negative thoughts to undermine our self-confidence and our belief in ourselves. And if we are in a weak state of mind, a weak state of thinking, it only takes another to say something that makes us doubt our beliefs and our ability to create the reality that is good for us, to shatter that. So it is terribly important to be conscious of your thinking. It isn't about always thinking positively. It's, I would say, almost impossible to stay on a constant vibration of positive thinking because we're human. But what we have to do is allow the negative thought to come in, observe it, and look for the evidence to support it, and then consciously change it into something that is more palatable, couldn't think of the word, palatable, something more agreeable, something that resonates more on the frequency that we're on. Mahatma Gandhi said, what we think is what we become. And it's true, because there's an anonymous saying here, which is, the mind is everything. What you think, you become. These quotes are only repeating what we have been saying for years, what great teachers have been saying for years. And we can be so brainwashed by the collective and what we read, see, get fed, hear, watch, listen to on the media or on social media platforms. It's like I would say to you, don't accept everything I say at face value. Analyze it for yourself. Use critical thinking. Look for the evidence of the information I give to you. And if you want to challenge it, challenge it. And that will help me to think more deeply and think, maybe I didn't quite get the nuance of that in the way it is meant to be or is best for it to be. So Henry Ford said, thinking is the hardest work there is, which is probably the reason so few people engage in it. Well, ain't that the truth? And another one from Marcus Aurelius, who said, the soul becomes dyed with colour of its thoughts. And it is, we can be dark, we can be light, we can be bright, we can be any colour we choose to be. And often, you know, if you think of colour therapy, the colours we choose to wear on a particular day can lift our energy or our vibration or make us feel very down and dark. Louise Hay said, every thought we think is creating our future. So you see, they are all saying the same thing and have been saying the same thing almost forever. And this is a lovely one by Friedrich Nietzsche, who said, all truly great thoughts are conceived while walking. And that's very true, isn't it? When we allow ourselves to be in the stillness with ourselves, in a kind of motion of just that harmony of the physical with the psyche, with the soul, with the elements, with the wind, with the trees, with the earth. Our thoughts are empowered in that energy to think freely and broadly. And it's often when we find the answers that we are seeking. Because actually, the answers we are seeking, they're not out there. They're in here. But I know you know that. So there we go. That's today's AstroBite. So remember to check out my new moon video. That is up on my channel, the new moon in Aquarius. And I do have an AstroBite coming out tomorrow as well for the new moon. And also one on Thursday for Uranus moving direct in Taurus, because that is quite a momentous shift in energies. So on that note, thank you so much for joining me. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe and share. And, you know, it's the sharing it's the sharing of everything that really helps everything, actually. Share with your friends, share on Facebook, share on social media, and I would be incredibly grateful. So on that note, thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye for now. Bye.